Hello, I'm here today celebrating my latest creation, which is the Ancient Stones Oracle. It is officially out in the world. Oh, I've been working on this for the past year and a half with Katie Louise, my beautiful illustrator. And we finally did it. It's been such a journey, the two of us. She's a bit unwell today, so she is resting, but we are going to do another live probably later in the week talking about our creative journey. It's been a big one for this one. Lots of ancestral healing, lots of really a lot of like deep holding and support. And I think this is really the energy of this deck. Aesthetically, it's a little bit, I mean, it looks similar to my other decks. I always keep the style going, but there's a lot more green in this deck. And I think it really does bring to life the holding, the support, and the ancientness of the stones. I want to know if you are connected to the stones or working with stones as beings, as guides, as wisdom keepers. Maybe it's a new thing for you. I'd love to hear, and let me know if your deck has arrived yet or not. I've seen the decks arriving. Oh my gosh, I was brought to tears this morning for two reasons. One, someone sent me a picture of their deck and a particular card at Avebury, which is my favorite stone circle in Wiltshire, not too far from here. And then my friend Karen, who is the fairy woman, she did a video, and you can see it on my Instagram. She did a video of the of pulling a card at this particular very sacred stone, ancient stone, which is called Menental, which is in Cornwall. And so she received her deck yesterday, and she texted me and said, I'm going to go to Menental, and I just feel like I'm going to bless the cards. And so that's how I woke up today, and I just felt so deeply moved by it. You know, with all of my oracles, it's as if for each of them, I begin working with the energy like as a guide for a couple of years before, and sometimes a lot longer, before it emerges as a creative project. And with this one, the Ancient Stones, as I think so often happens when we work with guides, we look back and we see how they've been with us for such a long time and guiding our way. When I was just 19, I can't believe I did this. I look back, I got on a plane. Well, I worked about 5 jobs in order to save up my money to come to the UK, where I now live. I grew up in Australia. And oh, Blue, I can see you're here. I know you are working hard on your beautiful oracle creation. Thank you for that acknowledgement. I can't wait to see yours in the world. But yeah, so I was 19, and so I just had this inner call within me to go to, well, I wanted to go to Scotland in particular and various places in the UK and Europe. And I met a family member, like very distant family member at a wedding. And she said, come and stay with us and look after my kids, and then you can use our place as a base. And so I saved up as much as I could. And I landed, I chopped my hair off. I had like really short hair, and I landed in Dublin, and I was like, what am I doing? And I found myself every weekend that I'd have off just standing in these ancient stone circles, in these ancient temples. The first place I went to was Newgrange, which in this deck, there is a card called the Entrance Stone, which is such a beautiful, beautiful card, but it's got these, here it is here. This is the Entrance Stone. This was my initiation into the stones. And I'm not sure if you can see on the camera with the lights, but we've got the Celtic spirals coming in here. And for me, it was such a transmission standing in front of there. I'd never seen anything like it. And back in the day when I started traveling, I then went on to, we can see in this card here, the card is called Find Your Center, and this is Isle of Skye. It's a fairy glen there. But yeah, I found myself just being led all over the place. And it was back in the day when, before mobile phones, before digital cameras even. And so I would find myself with those wind up cameras. Do you remember them? And I'd like stash them all, and I didn't want to spend my money on getting the film process. So what I would do is just, I had a plastic bag that I'd just fill them all with. And when I eventually went back home, I got all of them developed. And I think I was out of money. I'm like, Mom, can you pay for my photos? And I think she did. And then made this amazing scrapbook. And I wish I had it here in the UK. It's under the house at my parents' house. But it was amazing looking back. Like, there are some pictures of like having fun at pubs and stuff with friends that I met along the way, but the bulk of it were these amazing stone circles. And also I was captivated by even like old church gardens, which of course I now discover that in many cases these churches, they have these ancient yew trees there, and it tends to be an indication that it was a temple of the goddess. And the stone, and I think this is the thing about the stones that I feel so deeply in my heart and so passionate about, is that because they have such permanence. They're the most permanent material on earth. They were here way before us. They have the potential to connect us with our ancient and future ancestors. And so they don't just transmit ancient wisdom, they can transmit future wisdom to us as well. And I find that so often we overlook the stones. Whereas some of the deepest mystical experiences and intuitive downloads I've ever received, and writing I've ever received, has been through working with stones. So what I really wanted when I invited Katie Louise to create this deck with me, what we both wanted to do was to present the stones and offer them up with such beauty, because I think people tend to, we're so obsessed with crystals, and because they're so shiny and varied in their color and all of that, that we overlook the stones. But I personally feel like the stones are so powerful. You do need to slow down your energy in order to truly be with them. But if you do that, so much can expand, ancient, future, all together. So I could go on about the stones. If you're a part of my mystery school, you know that about me. The ancient stones is one of the mystery modules that we do. So they are officially out today. It's the birthday of the ancient stones. Yay. And I actually went to celebrate just myself this morning. I went down to Glastonbury Abbey, which is it's really ruins of a very, very ancient abbey. And what is there, the stone ruins that are there, is a fraction of the height of what it was. And it's huge. But the thing that a lot of people don't know is there is this gorgeous egg stone. I'm going to show you the card that we've created. Oh, here it is right here. And the egg stone is a card in the deck. This is a picture of it. And if you zoom in, you can see this is a feminine power card. It's about embodiment, fertility, and ancient folklore says that women would sit on the egg stone during the full moon and during when they were bleeding. It's like a seat of power. Yes, Happy Rock, it is the stone that you bleed on. And so I went there and did a little offering to this stone today to celebrate. And what I love about that stone is that it's so hidden in plain sight. There's actually a temporary entry to the Abbey at the moment. And so if you go in because they're doing renovations, if you go in that entrance, you will see, it'll be the first thing that you see as you follow the path. And it's near, I think it's like the ruins of what the kitchen is, and it's just literally right next to it. Whereas when you have the normal entrance, it's literally, you can't see it. It's just like they're out in the open, but it's like, it's just hidden. I've taken, if you've come on retreat with me, we might have done ritual there and meditated there. Or if you're one of my friends, you might have done it with me there as well. So yeah, that's what I did today to celebrate. I want to do a couple of readings now. So I'm just pulling you all up so I can see you. So if anyone would like a reading, you let me know. I want to let you know as well. So on Thursday, Hay House are organizing a celebration party for me. If you go to my event page, just like my website, you'll see the URL to sign up for that. But then on Monday, this is the big deck activation event. And so I'll be leading a really incredible ritual where we'll all bring our decks and activate them. I'll be connecting us through soul journey with your ancient ancestors, future ancestors as well, and just, I guess, in a way, transmitting to you, if you're up for it, my connection to the stones and what Katie and I were working with when we created this deck. You know, it's always so funny when you create a project, you finish it, because especially something like an oracle, it's so much goes into creating it, and you have to have it all sent off like ages before. So I think we finished this deck last June, so it's like a year ago, and so it feels surreal that it's finally here. Oh my gosh. And on the back of the card, and on one of the cards as well, I think it's the records card, is an ancient Pictish stone here. There we go. Don't know if you can see that, and the carvings. And this is the thing about the stones, they have these ancient carvings on them, and I find that if you put your finger on it or you rest your forehead on it when you're there, amazing stuff can happen. So if you've been on, yes, Crystal, this is my new deck. It's the Ancient Stones Oracle. This is really a great deck if you want to connect with ancient wisdom, future wisdom too, but it's like deep wisdom. But also if you want to connect with your ancestors, like maybe it's not been a practice that has been that's been passed down to you. It's also a great deck if you want to feel grounded, supported, held. And I find that it's really clear. Say compared to the Rose Oracle and the Healing Waters Oracle, they're more super feminine, and waters are watery. And yeah, Rose is just such a feminine line healer. For me, Ancient Stones is like the sacred masculine. And it was actually amazing through the creative process of this. And Katie and I will talk about it a bit later in the week when we catch up for our live. But we found it so interesting, the creative process of this one. Like for Rose and Water, oh my gosh, that creative process was so intense, like so intense, and just so many different iterations. And sometimes I'd be like chanting to her and then she'd download the image, and it was just very interactive like that, and like a whole process. Whereas with stones, it was so much steadier. And it was like I'd send her, this is what I'm saying, this is the meaning of the card, this is what I think the copy is, and then she'd be like, got it, okay. And then she'd send over 3 versions, and then but it was all very structured, and I'd be like, definitely one, boom, we're done. And it was just very efficient and yeah, just more masculine, like deep still, but yeah. All right, okay, so yeah, Crystal, sacred masculine. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling with this. I actually posted this morning, when I normally say with my creation, she's here, but today I said he's here. So maybe it's my well, I have a son, a human son, but maybe it's my first oracle son. I've got a lot of oracle daughters. Chatterbox, the deck is released today. Today is birthday for the ancient stones. Okay, so your card is the Sanctuary. This is a card that is based on the stone circle of Avebury, the Sanctuary. Whenever I go to Avebury stone circle, I feel this like joy, this kind of like just this contentment. And that's literally what I've got on the card there in the words. But it is this like sheer joy, contentment, feeling harmonious, welcoming more balance in your life. So this card really is an invitation to just relish it all. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, perfect time of year to do it. It is that solstice energy where it's just like, just get out and enjoy yourself. Don't overwork, just welcome it all and find ways to celebrate. Don't put it off. Yeah, Lisi, yep, just like our sanctuary. That's my membership. Totally. Okay, Magic with Shreya. Your card is, I need someone to do a drum roll for me. Maybe it's the drumming of the stones. Oh gosh, so good. Okay, your card. Oh, you got the same card. Okay, so that's just like a stress of the message. If anyone didn't get it, what are you doing to celebrate? How can you welcome more joy into your life? How can you bring more harmony into your life? It's beautiful. It's like you can see this gorgeous, just rainbow energy. And I feel like those stone circles in Avebury must have been used for celebration. There's also a little fairy ring in the center as well, where I've done ritual there. And I've also been with two girlfriends, Amy, who actually is my editor, used to work in my company and then went back to Hay House, and my friend Madeline. And I remember this time, it was like we were overtaken by just laughter for like about 15 minutes. And we were inside that fairy circle. So maybe that's the energy coming in here. Yes, the deck is out today. It is the Ancient Stones Oracle. Here's the guidebook here. You get the Oracle attunement, so you can just use the QR code, and you can download that. You also, if you get the deck before July 1st, you can attend the Ancient Stones Oracle deck activation event, which will be a ritualistic activation of your deck and attuning to the energy of the ancient stones. I've worked with the ancient stones I said before, I first got introduced to them when I was 19, and I'm 43 now. So whatever, someone will be able to do the math for me, but that amount of time. And and I've been teaching, working with the stones in my mystery school. So we'll be touching on a little bit of that as well. And yeah, so if you ordered the deck before July 1st, so that's Monday, you can attend the event. And if you can't attend live, you'll get the replay. Yes. Okay. Self-love challenge. Hi, darling. One for you. Oh, you got the egg stone. Well, we've got some repetition coming up here. So the egg stone is all about stepping into your feminine power. It is the feminine mysteries. It is embracing the wisdom, but even more than that, it's the power. It's the power. So what I want to say for you, Brandy, is like, how can you step into that mature feminine, the one that I kind of want to say doesn't give a F, so the one who maybe is wanting to express, it might be rage, it might be power, it might be boundaries, but it's just like a woman unto herself. So it really is stepping into your power. How you're being called to step into your power and lead as a woman, as a feminine leader in the world. So it's very Rise Sister Rise, Brandy. I know you. I think you don't know if you're coming to Omega to the Rise Sister Rise retreat, but if you are, we've got a whole day dedicated to that energy. We'll also be doing Healing the Motherline. Okay, so Stephanuis, a card for you. Okay. We got Stonehenge here. This is the Energy Rising card. You know, it's a little bit similar energy to the Sanctuary card, which is great. This is the Summer Solstice card. It's about vitality, confidence, power, decisiveness. And what I'm really seeing here is like the sun is at its highest. It's like, what is the sun wanting to burn through? You know, it's vital energy, decisiveness. It's like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to go for. So it really is going into your assertiveness, but with confidence, with like knowing that you've done the work. Like I'm hearing like all your ancestors marching beside you. Like I remember this quote by Maya Angelou, who says every time she walks onto stage, she does so with all the people who've ever supported her or said a kind word to her. That's the energy I'm getting here for you. So a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. I love that one. Okay, Alison O'Neill, a card for you on YouTube. Okay. We're talking about healing the motherline before. The cycle breaker. This is intergenerational healing, sending healing all the way back and all the way forward. It can represent cycles ending, but more so than that, it really represents patterns and systems and stories passed down, inherited. So many of us are processing things that weren't safe to be processed by our ancestors. For whatever reason, I do believe we chose to be here in this body, on this planet, in our ancestry at this time, and what a time we chose to come. And there is just so much healing happening at the moment. You know, it's really important not to get overwhelmed by it, but also to not underestimate just how huge it is. So I'm not sure if you're processing intergenerational like trauma or just, you know, healing family patterns, but that's really what this is all about. My friend Deborah Egerton and I are going to do a workshop on this theme. We've touched on it. We've supported each other in our own workshops, but yeah, we've got a workshop coming up that we'll be doing at the end of the year in London, and maybe we'll do an online offering. But it's also the energy of the healing the motherline, which has been a big energy for me, and definitely like not one that like I've consciously chosen, but it's been really strong. You can see the behind me is the Fall Into My Arms card just up here from the Starseed Oracle, which is a depiction of the mystical experience I had in 2017, where I connected to the great cosmic mother, original mother of us all, in the center of the earth. And I saw the gates of life. I saw the ecstasy and the agony of the human experience, and was surrounded by a group of guides that I call the ancient grandmothers of the earth. And they've been working through me ever since. And you know, it's taken me quite a while to fully stabilize the energy. And I've been creating oracles during that time as a way to transmit that energy, that frequency through art, through collaborating with wonderful artists, through words, like sharing that energy. And now I'm literally in the final stages. Like my book is about to go to print in a couple of days. And I talk about it. It's the first time I've spoken about it in written form, really, like in a thorough way. It's a book I've been working on for 7 years since I had that experience. And this is the energy, the cycle breaker. So really powerful, but don't underestimate how big that type of work is. It is huge. And, I think it is important to find support, whatever support you need, particularly if you're finding the processing of trauma is coming up. Any somatic practice, anything that brings your body into the center is just so important, so nourishing. So yeah, thank you. So Stephanie Newis, sorry if I haven't pronounced that right. The deck has 44 cards in it. Okay, so Crystal Marie. The Wisdom Keeper. Oh, I just love the colors in this card. When Katie sent it to me, I was like, oh, that clarity is so gorgeous. I love the blues and the greens. So this card, I don't know if you can see, is a woman bending down. She's holding her third eye against the stone. Her palms as extensions of her heart chakra against the stone. And then there's this face in the stones. And have you ever seen a face in stones? Once you are aware of it, I think you will see them everywhere because they are everywhere. But this is one of my favorite cards. It's an indication of deepening knowledge, deeper learning, deepening wisdom. I really love how the woman here, and this is my darling friend Farah, so many beautiful women and men as well who are featured in this card, and Farah is such a devotee. She and the position she's in there, it's like one of reverence. And I see this card as well of like bowing down to the elders, not to say, oh, I'm not worthy, but as a way of like, I am here, transmit to me, I see you, I recognize you, I'm ready to learn from you. And I think we're waking up to the need for wisdom to be passed down, the need for us to respect our elders. And sure, some elders haven't been initiated, and because they've not been initiated, they haven't been able to initiate the ones after them. And instead of us being frustrated by that, stepping forth and taking responsibility for receiving wisdom humbly from, whether that's through books or trainings or literally, like, nature is the biggest mystery school there is, and the stones, I think, are the elders of that mystery school. So humble reverence to deeper learning. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, honor, Gypsy Mama. Beautiful. Excuse me. Okay, so Barbie Divine Doll 1111, your card is Be the Mountain. Now, this is definitely like such a sacred masculine card here. Obviously, we know mountains are just like, they hold so much for us. That feeling when you're around a mountain, it's like it's another humble type feeling. But it's definitely about like, we know that the what they say about mountains is in, like, it's like one step after the other. And so this is about slowing down, being steady, having patience, trusting when the soul is called to do something, trusting if you're calling something into your life, trusting what you're building, the legacy that you're creating, and continuing to keep your gaze forward and where you are. So another great one. Okay. So next up, we have Marianne Feather Orchard. One for you. Oh, ancestral messages. This is the card that has my grandma on it. That's her there. Oh, there, Nana Peg. And this is her when she was younger. And I never thought this would happen because I'm so not the person to put myself in the deck. But this was the the first card that came through for me, but it was the last card for us to know that we had completed the deck. We'd created so much art for this particular card, Ancestral Messages, but we couldn't quite get the artwork right for it. But so often when you're creating a deck, you're really working energetically, and it was like a jigsaw puzzle. Once one had come in, 5 more would drop in. Once those 5 had come, the next one would come where we'd have a block on. And that's definitely like at a deck level what happened here with this one. And that's me there at the center. And I'm at Avebury, and this particular stone I see as such a gatekeeper or guardian stone. And my mum actually took that photo. So yeah, so beautiful. So this is the ancestor card. So the invitation is that your ancestors are wanting to connect more deeply with you. They are there with you, known and unknown as well. So many stand beside you. And, one simple way of honoring that, again, if it's not something that you have practice with or has been taught to you, a simple way of doing that is introducing yourself and where you come from. So my name is Rebecca, and I am the daughter of Julianne Campbell and Trevor Campbell. And my grandmother was Margaret Watt, and my grandfather was, and my other grandmother was, and my other grandfather was, and do it like that. And so you're calling in those ancestors. And obviously, if you have a difficult relationship or if you don't feel like the energy is positive for you, you can reach back to a positive ancestor. So many of us were not connected or taught about the wisdom teachings of our ancestry, but I do believe that we're able to reach back through ancestral work, and particularly if it wasn't passed down to you, through working with the earth. Like I said before, the mystery school of nature is the greatest mystery school there is, and the stones are the elders of that mystery school. So Joanne says, how do you know your ancestors if you're adopted? Great question. So you can work with both your adoptive family if you want, because you are part of that line too. And you can also work with your biological family if you don't know them too, So I've got a couple of ancestral meditations, and we'll do one on the activation on Monday as well, which everyone who pre-orders will get. And actually, I think you get a free soul journey that you can download already that touches on this. But you can do this soul journey work and this healing work even if you didn't know them. So much of the healing work that I've done and the depth of wisdom that has come through once I've started my ancestral work has actually not been through necessarily knowing the ancestors. Like, it might be a gateway, but you see, if you have names, that can be great, but if you don't, that's okay. You can literally just give them the title and explore it from there. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, I have an adopted sister, so she is my mum's daughter, and yeah, when my mum was a teenager, she was adopted, and yeah, we ended up meeting her when she was 21. I was 11, but I think I actually met her when I was 14. So yeah, I have some experience with that, but yeah. Oh, okay. So where can you get them? So head to, any link in my bio, but basically go to my website and you'll find it. But they're on Amazon. But under this video, I'll make sure, and in link in bio and stuff, I'll make sure we've got I think we've already got the link to purchase the deck and then sign up for all the freebies before Monday. But yeah, Ancient Stones Oracle, it is all over my website, all over Amazon. Oh, Margaret, can't wait to see you at Rise Sister Rise at Omega. it's like less than 2 weeks away now. If anyone wants to join us, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful week. My friend Megan Watterson happens to be teaching there that weekend too. So if you want to do a full week, come to my retreat and then go to hers. We're going to do a little ritual catch up. It's going to be amazing. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So Andrea, a card for you. The secret chamber. Oh, yes. There's a lot of depth in there. I don't know if you can see clearly on screen. It's basically a man in the center of this chamber, obviously stone chambers, caves, and in Cornwall there's a particular set of ancient stones called fugus, which are very sacred. They're kind of like going into a cave, and that's what we wanted to demonstrate here. And you can see it's like he's there. Just, what happens when it feels like the world or universe or God turns out all of the lights when difficult times happen and things are maybe not going the way we want them to. There is this moment, and I've experienced it myself, where it feels really dark, but actually it's through the darkness that you can see the light more clearly. And I remember back in 2012 when I was going through a really difficult period, this deepness that I felt, and this kind of was very subtle, but just this kind of light that I could almost touch, that I wouldn't be able to touch if everything was all bright around me, which said, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity. Like through the rock bottoms, through the difficulties, something amazing will be born. It's like that thing where maybe things are happening and then you kind of it's the crumbling happens and you kind of you end up on your knees, but from there, you can rise. This is also about cultivating the treasure within yourself, cultivating the potency. So maybe there's a creation that you're being called to tend to. Maybe there's a something that you're being called to cultivate, call in, work towards. So that seed of light there, how can you tend to it? What is that seed of light for you? How can you tend to it? How can you nurture it? Melinda, yes, you are coming to Omega too. Amazing. Yes. So yeah, if anyone wants to join us at Omega, I think there's some tickets left. You just head to my website for that, to events. And yeah, it's July 7 through 12, if I have the dates right. My friend Madeline Giles is going to assist me. She's done every single Omega retreat with me. Can't wait. And she actually introduced me to my herbalism training. And so we're planning on bringing some plant medicine to our week as well. So we'll be doing nourishing tea meditations. And we've been texting back and forth. What flowers, what herbs do we feel called towards? So rose is definitely in there. Maybe passion flower, maybe nettle, maybe mugwort. There's a few more. So yeah, if anyone is coming and wants to weigh in, you let me know. Okay, so a card for you. Obstacle. So this comes up when we're basically, we're like, this is the way, and then something has come in front of us, an obstacle, and we're like, oh, why isn't this working out? But it's actually a really great thing that it comes up, because it is inviting us to find another way, and there is another way. So be flexible, be open to change. So yeah, embracing change, flexibility of mind, openness of mind. So yes. So this has been so amazing. Thank you so much for celebrating the birthday of the Ancient Stones Oracle. It is a beautiful, beautiful deck. This is the guidebook here. And it's actually got my grandmother's hands there. I don't know if you can see. My brother took that photo, and yeah, so lovely. It was just before she passed, and so yeah, her hands are holding you in this oracle as well. I hope you're all really well, and yeah, I just so appreciate if you have bought the oracle. Thank you so much, and if you enjoy it, I would be so humbled and grateful if you left a positive review on Amazon. It really, really helps the author when you do that. So I so appreciate it. Hi, Carrie. Oh, yay. Thank you so much. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day.